Okay. So let's try it again. Oh, perfect.
Uh,
Wow,
Can
what
you
will
hear
be
me?
going on today?
Can you hear
Wow,
me?
wow, wow. You said?
Can you hear me?
Perfect. I can hear you.
Yeah, cool.
Wow.
Uh,
I was like, what's really going on with Instagram today? Well, please, guys, we are really, really sorry about this. It wasn't deliberate. It just happens. I'll call it technical glitch. So, okay, without further ado, so David, please, introduce yourself.
okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good
I'm
evening.
David Alienyi. I'm a full stack engineer, and I think I've been coding for the past 6 years. Uh, my progress really lies in building backend infrastructure, system designs. I do front end too, but I prefer working on the back end. So yeah, I live in Lagos, right? I'm from Enugu State, yeah, and yeah, I love challenges. I love solving problems, right?
Oh, wow.
And one of the things that uh, put me to programming or that interests me, that I, I really got interest in programming is ability to solve problems, right? Because programming gives you that it's like a tool, right? That you can use to solve your day-to-day problems, right?
Mm.
So yeah,
Okay, thank you very much. I think I didn't introduce myself, but I can also do that, right? But I just wanted our guest speaker to kick off the conversation. So, without further ado, let me introduce myself. My name is Tèmítọ Ọládòkun. I'm just that girl that wants to have fun while making an impact in the world. On this third episode of AI Horizon with Tèmítọ Ọládòkun, you've heard from my guest, whose name is David Alienyi, and he has wealth of knowledge in the aspect of infrastructure building for AI products. So without further ado, I'd like to ask that in this many years of working in software engineers, do you know of any operational costs? Like things, because today's session is to see how we can reduce how we pay money to cloud services or for cloud services.
yeah.
So,
Operational costs are like the the cost depends on the total cost for running, maintaining, a software application. Right? So one of the costs includes hosting costs. I think you mentioned that the cloud the cloud cost, like the cost for hosting your software. And another aspect of operational cost is maintenance and support. Right. So you need to maintain an application. For instance, sometimes you want to update an application, you want to fix bugs. So the cost for maintenance, right, and for support. So support in terms of you want to have like a system in place where you can get feedback, where people can reach out to you and yeah. So maintenance and support. So you want to have like a subscription fee where you pay to maintain your application, to add more features, updates, and also speed boost, right? So another another operational cost is data storage, right? So as we all know, right, we need to store our data somewhere, right? So we need to pay for that, right? So and as your data grows, right, the cost also increases. So these are another aspect is security, right? Security, sometimes we need to pay for experts to uh like more like a subscription fee for experts to sort of you know keep check with our application, make sure that everything is secure. Yeah. So yeah. So these are just few of the operational costs, right? We need to pay for.
okay, that's a very good. You
And
mentioned two
yeah,
key. Okay, sorry.
And another key thing we need to note is scaling, right? So scaling
Oh,
is
yes,
another important operational cost, right? Because as we scale, sometimes we might start with a a, a lesser uh, operating
research.
system or lesser RAM or virtual machines, right? But as we scale, right, as we have more users, we want to really scale up. Uh, we want to scale either horizontally or vertically, right? Either adding more machines or increasing the size of, of the virtual machine. So these are some of the operational costs that we need to take into consideration.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much. But in your own experience, if we are to pick either the horizontal scaling or the vertical scaling, which one do you think is better in terms of cost optimization?
Yeah. So it depends, right? So it depends because it depends on what you want to achieve. I think vertical scaling is there's a limit, right? There's a limit where you can increase the size of of uh, of of a machine, right? So there's a point where you get to, right? You can't really, so you need to add more machines, right? So it depends on uh, on your business. It depends on how the growth, right? So it depends on the growth. It depends on, so if you look at it that we are not growing really really drastically, right? So you can go with vertical scaling, and at a point where you feel like, okay, you know you are having more users, then you can say, okay, let me add the machine. So it just depends on the rate at which your
Yeah.
product is scaling.
Okay, so from what you just said, now if I rephrase, it's more like it's not a one size fits all.
Yeah,
It depends on your business case before you start deploying either of the two scaling
yeah,
options for your system design. Okay, thanks so much for that. So because I've been thinking of everything that, okay, how can AI come in to optimize cost in terms of resource allocation and all these things? Can you just give us like scenarios or up use cases whereby we use AI to scale up some of those resources we worked in time past or even you are presently working on.
yeah. So good one, right? So I think this is just me, right? One of my routine while building either building a feature or building a new product is to first of all ask myself, what can I automate with AI, right? So what are the things that I can do? What that what can AI do for me, right? So that's the first thing I ask, right? So what can AI do for me? Again, so I ask that question.
Mhm,
It's like my routine. That, okay, I have this thing I want to achieve, right? And
mhm.
out of these things, right, what can AI do for me? What can I automate? So, so this is my routine because we are we are we are in a world whereby people are really automating stuff with AI, and it's it, it makes sense to start thinking towards that direction, thinking of how one can leverage AI, right? Because that is where the world is heading to. One of my partner experience how we use AI to sort of solve a real world problem, right? So we have this product. I think I was working with my brother with. I think it's like this Jam CBT where students can buy like this CBT disc and plug it in the laptop and practice Jam and all of that, right? So we have for Jam, we have for White, and we usually have like this customer service where people ask questions like, okay, how can I activate my so each CD comes with an activation key, right? So you need a pin to activate the product. So without activating the product, you can't have full access to the software. Right? So we have like a support department where people can call and ask questions like, how can I activate my PIN? My PIN has issue. I try to activate, and we have people working in that department, right? So at some point where we now decide to see that, okay, what can we do? So we look at the common question, we look at the data. So we compile lots of data, right? Most of them questions that we've gotten in the past, right?
Mm.
And sort of create a model that can answer this question, because most of these things are, for instance, someone can say, okay, I, I want to activate my PIN, right? How can I activate my PIN? These things are like the same, right? How can I activate my PIN? I want to activate my PIN. You get, so
Mhm.
questions like that, we sort of build a model, an AI model, to classify these things and provide answer for them. So, and with this, right, we were able to build like a chatting bot that can answer questions,
Wow.
right? And the cool part is, to be honest, we were able to, the bot was able to answer like 70% or 80% of questions, right? So I think it's just few cases where we need human intervention, right? So that way, right, we were able to minimize that cost, right? The money we are going to use to pay people to to pay a couple of people, right, to help us
Mhm.
with that support, right? I think we're able to reduce it drastically. So AI really assists us to really solve that problem. Another example that I have is, I think this is very recent, right? Because I was trying to build a product with my friend, right? So where we are trying to, what we want to do is to convert certain, uh, so okay, let me leave that. That might be really lengthy,
Okay.
right? You get,
You
so
know what? If you don't want to share anything, let's just leave it in the woods, right? So we can just share things like relatable experiences. But I
yeah,
think I relatable experiences. Well, you mentioned something in your last explanation about building chatbots to
yeah,
optimize business processes, and I think it's something that is not everybody that is thinking of that play. That's our solution, because sometimes we just feel like, if I should bring chatbot now, does it mean that 80%, like what you said, from your metric, you said 80% cost optimization. So you saved 80%. So does it mean that some people have lost their job? Because it's a question that they keep asking me. Tell with AI, don't you think people will lose their job? Right. And I really like how you brought out practical experiences to back up that claim. So my question will go this way. Do you think those 80% of our uh, call agents or contact or support, do you think they lost their job, or there was an evolution in their job in your office or in your project? So what really happened to them? I really want to know what happened to those guys.
yeah. So to be honest, right, it's not news, right, that AI we obviously like take, I learned that recently, Stack Overflow let go of 1,000 employees, right, and due to um, some of the tasks, as some of these employees, right, what they do are replaced with AI. So it's it's that's the reality, right? So I think as humans, what we can do is to adapt, right? To adapt to changes and
Yeah.
try to improve your skill, right? To to make sure that you don't get swept by the wave, right? So it's the reality, right? Let's not sugarcoat it. Uh, AI will take a lot of jobs, right? AI will take a lot of jobs because people, yeah, AI will take a lot of jobs. So to answer your questions,
Mm-hmm.
the question, right? Yeah, I think some of them we had to, some of them we recycle them to do other things, right?
Oh, nice.
We have to recycle them to do some other tasks, right? And I'm not sure if we let go of anybody, right? But then, right, we most of them we circle them to start doing some other operational work. Yeah.
Okay. So that means there was still like a job revolution going
Yeah.
on. They were even taken out of the business, but they were serving corporates in another unit. So that's really
Yeah.
good because that's what everybody needs to get in and sink down into their mind that AI is not going to take your job, but there will be some revolution and you need to be ready for the revolution that is yet to come. So thanks for that explanation because I think I have a reboot out to people that might throw that question to me that AI is taking a job, their jobs from them.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question now is sorry guys, if you have your question for the guest speaker, drop it in the comment section. I would do well to ask him before the close of this show. Please drop your question. We are here to talk about cost optimization and how scaling AI products and help us achieve this operational cost. So please drop your question in there. Okay, there's another question that has been coming to my mind lately, right? Because sometimes we try to talk about, okay, applications, implementations, and all those things. So, what are the factors that contribute to the operational cost in AI implementation?
So what are the factors that can
Okay,
you
should I repeat the question?
yeah, yeah.
What are the key factors that contribute to operational cost while implementing AI?
Okay, so are you referring to what are the key factors that
Yeah. Okay, let me rephrase the question this way. You know, sometimes maybe we are implementing like AI solution or cloud services or no, not cloud service, application whatsoever or whatnot, right? What are the factors we need to look into while maybe while deploying these solutions, like especially in the terms of operational cost? Is it that
yeah.
we need to look at this, that, this, that?
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. So I think
You can bring it from any
yeah,
angle, then we can relate it to our different units. You can bring it from application, AI,
yeah, yeah,
data. So then everybody will pick what fits
yeah,
their unit to apply it there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing is that every problem is unique, right? And you one need to sort of find a problem, a solution to uh, to to solve to solve uh, to, to solve a problem. So for me, right, my own personal experience is whenever I have like an issue or a problem that I feel like okay, AI can solve. I think this happen AI can solve. So one of the things we need to look at is the cost of of deploying the model, right? Because
Mm.
one thing is AI models takes a lot of CPU, right? So we need to sort of implement it in a way that it is scalable because so that we won't uh, we won't be trying to solve a problem and incur more cost, right? So we need to look at the models. We need to make sure that uh, we uh, we test properly, right? So I think let me just give this scenario. We have this data, right? I think we have this customer data that we have in our DB that my team and I we are working on. And now the problem is the goal is that we want to deliver products to customers, right? So we have customers locations that we deliver products to. Now, the challenge here is that some of this customer location is not correct, right? It's not correct. So we have quite a number of these locations that are not correct. And this sort of affects our algorithm because what we normally do is that we look at the destination of where the truck is or where we our product is, and we look at the customer. So we look at the origination, right? It's like we want to deliver products from a particular place, origination to a destination. So the destination is the customer location. You get so think of it as if you're trying to deliver a product, dispatch a product to a customer, right? And our algorithm assume that you are heading to a particular location, right, which is the customer location. And we have the longitude and the latitude of that location. Now the problem is along the line, we figure out that for some customer locations, the truck always go to a different point, right? And it sort of alters the algorithm because in reality, the truck has gotten to a location, to the customer location. But because of we have the wrong customer's data, right, the algorithm will see that, oh, this guy is still in transit. It has not gotten to the customer location. So which sort of messed up the output in such cases, right? And now, when we realize that, okay, it seems we have problem with our location data, and we start looking at solutions, right? What can we do? Some people say, okay, we are going to employ some people to go to the customer location with probably with their phones to get the live latitude and longitude. You get so, and we start having different ideas of things to get, and these locations are scattered all over Nigeria. Some in Enugu State, some in Lagos State, and so imagine employing people to go to each location, right, to do that. So what we now, my team and I look at it, what can we do, right? So because of we have this shipment or like this shipment going to this, for instance, a location might have like 100 shipments, right? So we now create a I don't know if you have like a cluster algorithm to look, okay, what are these points? If a shipment is going to this customer, what point are they always stopping at, right? So we were able to use AI algorithm, clustering algorithm to be precise, to get the customer's location, right? So what am I trying to say here is that sometimes to use the right model, right? And I think that way we don't need to spend much. It's more like we have this data, we have the existing points, we just fetch this data and implement the right model, right? So looking at the right model, implementing it well, testing properly, these are the things we need to look out for.
Okay, thank you very much for that comment. And I would like to also touch on that because sometimes people feel like you just deploy AI solution and it start working. Please, guys, let's wake up. AI solution can be cost consuming, especially in the aspect of implementation. So once we are drafting out our business case, let's put or let's draft out a particular section for cloud services. Let's draft out a section for maybe the operational cost, as you've mentioned, the maintenance and the tech support, right? We shouldn't just look at the solution that is looking rosy, looking nice. In fact, something I've imbibed with my clients now is when they come for consultation, I tell them that, okay, if you want to solve this AI, so are you ready? The first cost we look at is the cloud services. The second one we look at is the operational cost in terms of the people that are there to manage the product. So I want us to look at all those things, like those factors to see if we are ready to go on that journey in deploying an AI solution. Okay, thanks so much. I'm trying to check time because I don't want to pass 8 o'clock. I know we started in late. Instagram was really messing up. It dealt with us for a while, but we got hang of it and we are here talking about cost optimization. So if you are just joining us, this particular edition is to talk about how to optimize cost, especially analyzing how to scale AI products to reduce operational costs. So the key word there is cost optimization. Then the sentence or the phrase in front is basically about how to scale a product in aspect of you benefiting and getting the operational cost reduced, sort of. So I've had here with me David. I've not seen any question. I'm believing or I'm assuming that everything we've been saying on this call has been sinking down into our minds, or we've learned a lot from it. So my next question might be very short, and because of time, for brevity of time, is just going to be something more of a soft skills kind of thing. So how do you manage clients that wants to deploy some applications, but you know that when you deploy this application, it's going to cost you a lot in terms of maybe, you know, all these cloud services or all this cost, operational cost, does not come until after implementation. You understand? So, but how do you manage the stakeholder that you've already seen it as a developer or as a team lead or as a technical person that, oh man, what I see here is it's going to cost us some dollars, some dough, right? So, how do you manage a client or a stakeholder or an individual or even a team member that is bringing a solution that might cost us a lot of money in the future? Please, I just need
Yeah,
those two things because I need it in my life.
yeah, yeah. It's tricky, right? Because uh, so let me start from a team member, right? Because I can relate more with that, right? So
Okay,
let's
let's keep it
say,
as team member. Let's keep it as team member. Don't let us go far to avoid shaking tables. You know?
so uh, let's say a team member comes up with an idea, right, or something that like I know pretty well that it's going to cost a lot, right?
Sorry, I can't hear you. Hi, David. I can't hear you. Sorry, I can't hear you. Sorry, can you go back like 2 seconds?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
much better. Yeah.
yeah. So my watchword is why. Like I think as a software developer, you know, you need to answer the question why, right? Why do you think this is not the best approach, right? So because you can't just tell someone that oh you can't do it to customer, right? So the first thing for me to have like a breakdown, right? To analyze this thing uh to the team members. Okay, see if you go through this route, right? It will cost us much, right? With valid proofs, with a valid reason, that's okay. Because what I do to my team member is to tell them that okay, the reason why this approach is not the best, right? You get the reason why, and when you tell people why an approach is not the best and provide a better one, right? So it makes sense. So I think it it boils down to giving them a reason, right? Give them a valid reason why the approach, right, is not the best, and also providing a better approach, right? Because if you
Mm,
are saying that okay, this will cost more, you need to also give me a better option, right? Because if you're not giving me a better option, it really doesn't make sense. So you need to tell them
yeah.
why, right? Why you need why this is not the best, why it will cost more and and a better approach. A perfect example is something that happened in our place of work where we need to make API calls to Google API. So we normally revert I think the API name is I think revert your location where you give Google the last and long and you want to get the actual address. Let's say for instance, like if I have the last and long of my location, right, I
Mm-hmm.
can give Google that input and say, okay, Google, give me the address, right? So we are using that, right? And the funny thing is, sometimes we have repetition, right? We have repetition of this location. It's like I'm going from point A to point B, right? Let's say, for instance, I'm selling clothes, right? And I have like a customer. Let's say Henry is my customer, right? And probably every week, every month, I deliver product to Henry, right? So, and most times I take a particular route, right? To and fro, right? And every time I'm taking those routes, for every point, I'm reversing this geolocation, right? I'm getting this location. Now the point is, we might have a repetition, right? It might be a point that I've taken before, like in the past, maybe in the past shipment when I maybe you get so what we are doing before is to uniquely for every point I have to query Google and say, give me the values. And the point is, we are really spending a lot of money, right, with that API. So what we did is, we said, okay, see, there's a way we can make it better. Right? Instead of just making a blind call, what we are going to do is that for every call I make, I will store the last and the longitude with the location. So before I call people, I will check, have I reversed this location before? You get. So that
Mhm.
way, right, you're able to reduce the cost drastically. I think it's like 20%, right, based on the previous cost. So the point I'm trying to make here is that you need to explain to the person that implemented it. Okay, look at this, right? If you are to go this route, we are going to spend more because we are blindly calling Google Map, right? But if you are to save this data, right, for every time we pass the location, we save the data, right? And before we make another call, we check our DB. Okay, do we have an existing location with this latitude and longitude? Right? If yes, we use the existing one. Right? We won't call Google Maps. You get. So I think in a nutshell, to give valid reasons why an approach is wrong, and also provide a better one.
Okay. I think I like this particular comment that you capped it up with, because you can't just tell someone that you are wrong. Nobody wants to look stupid. We all want to look good. So you just have to build and explain to the person that, okay, this approach is nice, but I don't think we should go that route to save cost. We are all here to make money, and we are all here to save cost. So thank you so much. I know that we started this particular episode 30 minutes late, but I try to keep to time. So we have like 3 minutes. So I'm going to be wrapping up this show. There's no questions. I believe that everybody understood the concept. So the message was fast to everybody, right? We all got the message, white and black. There's no gray area that needs more questions or anything. So I would like to announce something. So I said everybody should join if you want to get the announcement. The announcement is I have a special product that will be launching on the 1st of April. And this product is something, it means so much to me. It's a it's a material that I've been working on for months. I've I shared with some people in that space, in that area. It's basically about my journey into technical product management, the skills, the tools I am myself with to actually get here, and how I got here, and also scaling and making impact to some levels I am right now. So if you are interested in having that material, this one is more like a pre-launch. So I'm going to be dropping a link on my Instagram story. Feel free to fill up the form. So once we launch on the 1st of April, we push it to you for you to be the first set of people to read this material. And you will want to know, once you start reading this material, there will be some free goodies coming in with the material as well. So it will be very good. It will do every one of us a favor for us to be tuned into the atmosphere of freebies, goodies, interesting stuff happening out there. So I'm going to wrap up this particular edition or episode with something I wrote in my booklet. It said, cost is more important than quality, but quality is the best way to reduce cost. So some of us, we kind of, it's something that we need to think about, because me, I've been trying to meditate on it to understand what is the underlying meaning of this. So let me repeat it. Cost is more important than quality, but quality is the best way to reduce cost. So I'm going to drop this on also on our YouTube channel and my Instagram page, so you can feel free to watch it at the end of the day. Thank you so much for staying tuned with me on the next episode. The next episode is going to be about product management. I'm bringing in some of my badass girls. Like, me and my girls can run circles around you. So if you are ready for that, don't don't waste your time and don't sleep on it. So once I drop it, just make sure you attend that show. And thank you very much. Bye. Hope I'm keeping to time. 9 o'clock. Thanks, guys.